Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. The sorority secrets of the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS Legacy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. One of my viewers was willing to pay a donation so I could talk about the subject of so-called food shortages here in America. Now, this viewer was willing to pay for me to discuss this subject after another viewer just went out here and complained constantly about me making this video. Now, this other viewer who was constantly complaining about this subject, I had told them multiple times that if they wanted to request a video, they needed to donate to the Cash App. However, this individual did not want to donate to the Cash App, and instead, when I told him my policy, he decided to go into shaming tactics like a female and decided to try to call me a black bootleg for not wanting to make content on my own platform. However, another viewer decided to pay for this subject, so I'm going to go in depth on this subject right now. Now, there has been a lot of speculation in the media about so-called food shortages coming to America by the end of the year. And a lot of conspiracy theorists are running with this story, saying that there are going to be major food shortages all across the country by the end of the year, and people need to prepare by stocking up for food. So there's a lot of narratives running around with people taking a lot of information and running on it with emotion without a lot of critical thinking. Now, yes, there are problems with our supply chain due to the Biden administration's decision to cancel the Keystone Pipeline, and it was that decision to cancel the Keystone Pipeline that led to the increase in oil futures going up, because as many people went back to work, there wasn't much supply to meet the demand. And as a result of there not being a lot of gasoline to meet the demand, the price of gasoline went up all across the country, and this impacted truckers all across the country, and that made it where we were starting to have supply issues as related to the oil here in America. Now, this was further compounded by your Joe Biden going out here and instigating the war between Ukraine and Russia, and Ukraine is a place where they make a lot of wheat that is imported all across the globe. And because the Ukrainians are able to go out here and farm their land, it is speculated that there will not be enough wheat or other agrarian products like soybeans to meet the needs of the world. And all of this is leading to a lot of speculation from people across the globe that there will be some sort of supply issue as related to food supplies. Now, this speculation is based on projections from economists and scientists and is not based on any actual numbers. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people out here who take information from these media sources, and instead of them thinking critically about this information, what they do is they run on emotion, and as they run on emotion, they start creating all of these conspiracy theories about how there's going to be famine, how there's not going to be enough food, and they get people emotional and riled up all across the country and all across the world. And as they get people emotional, they start getting people to start acting extremely erratically. And if you don't go out here and do your research like I did as related to this story, you'll get caught up in the rhetoric that is being presented by some of these conspiracy theorists, and these people will have you running around afraid and have you going out here panicking like many people did in February and March of 2020 during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that kind of stuff is not the kind of thing I want on my platform or my channel, because that type of dissemination of, as I believe to be, misinformation, this is what leads to people reacting in ways that are detrimental to themselves instead of responding from a point of critical thinking, because a point of critical thinking is where you start to take the information and you start to really think and analyze about it. Now, when it comes down to this whole narrative about food shortages, it is one mostly based in speculation as related to things that are currently going on as related to the U.S. economy and the global economy. And these things are things that most people have absolutely no control over. So getting people emotional about these kind of subjects is not going to really help anyone as related to me making a video about it, because I don't really want to sit here and go into all of these kind of conspiracy theories, because this is not anything that is going to help people objectively. Now, when it comes down to these so-called food shortages, they are possibly maybe issues as related to shortages, as related to supplies, as related to the supply chain, or they could be issues as related to one part of the world not being able to provide a product like wheat or a product like soybeans. But most countries get most of their products from other parts of the world. So if you can't get wheat from Ukraine, maybe what will happen is there will be an ending of farm subsidies, and you'll have American farmers going out here and producing American wheat and importing American wheat and American soybeans to offset the wheat and the soybeans that would have been sold in Ukraine, which is currently a war-torn country. So one country will possibly offset the production in another country, and yes, that might cause a short-term price hike, but as the supply starts to meet the demand, possibly prices might wind up going down. And when it comes down to products here in America, it is rumored that there may not be any disruption as related to your supermarkets. So there won't be, like a lot of people wanting to speculate about these food shortages, there may not be any sort of major food shortages here in America, because we have, if we can get our supply chain on track, maybe we can go out here and be able to have an adequate supply of food. Now, one of the big problems with our food supplies all across the globe is that you have products being imported into countries like America. Now, America gets a lot of its fruits and vegetables from other parts of the world, and we do not have a infrastructure for getting our fruits and vegetables or other products from ourselves. And that's a big problem that America has had since the 60s, because in the 1960s, that's when we started sending a lot of our production overseas and a lot of our farms overseas, thinking that it would be cheaper to produce that food in other countries, and that may be something that has gone to be a detriment to us here in America, where we basically do not manufacture anything. If anything, when we look at this whole situation, maybe the best thing is for us to start working on creating our own base for agribusiness and our own base for manufacturing, because it's clear we can no longer rely on global supply chains, and we need to have our own supply chains right here domestically. That's basically what we need to do, but you have many of these conspiracy theorists who get in their feelings and want to go out here and react to these situations by building up a whole lot of hysteria and frenzy, whip people into frenzy, but I don't want to go out here and whip people into frenzy, telling them to, you have to go out here and start prepping and going out here and buying MREs, start going out here and buying and stocking up on lots of food and stocking up on large water supplies. I don't really want to start getting people emotional like that, because that's not healthy for most people's mental health. Most people's mental health has already taken a hit as related to the COVID-19 lockdowns, and I don't want to further exacerbate the mental health issues that people are having by whipping people up into hysteria. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to go sitting here going into grand conspiracy theories about, oh, there's going to be a famine in 2023, people are going to be starving, people are going to die because there's no food. No, I don't want to do that, because there are steps people can take to do whatever they want. And again, if the supply chains are out here and you can go to a market and get food, then everything should be okay later in the year. And if you wanted to go out here and call yourself prepping, you can go out here, buy yourself some MREs or some shelf-stable food if it means that much to you. And there will probably be lots of water around, so you can go out here and buy your bottled water, or you can go get your water from the tap. So everybody's sitting here going into all of these conspiracy theories, but not really sitting there thinking critically about the whole situation as related to this so-called food crisis. And I don't want to go out here and spread a lot of misinformation based on emotion, because that emotion, from what I've seen with the previous COVID pandemic, did not really help people, and I don't want to go out here and further create problems for people. That's why I was hesitant to make that video, because I do not want to be out here spreading misinformation. I would rather go to multiple sources to see what the real deal is. And the real deal is that, again, we are having some issues as related to oil here in America, and that's leading to a lot of truckers not being able to cover the costs as related to shipping food all across the country, and that's driving up prices. And we also have an issue with the war in Ukraine, leading to it being hard to import certain products. But the government policy here in America, again, this is an opportunity for farmers to capitalize, because we pay farmers not to farm, and we could go out here and tell those farmers to go out here and start producing wheat and soybeans, and this could be very profitable for them to import and export. Again, the problem is solvable, and I would rather work towards talking about solutions to the problem than sitting here going into a frenzy and a panic, telling people they need to stock up meat in their freezers, they need to go out here and stock up water in their house, they need to go out here and stock up shelf-stable food, they need to go out here and prep for some sort of conflict. No, I don't want to go out here and make that type of frenzied video, and that's the type of video that this other viewer, who was Dusty, wanted me to put on my channel, but I refused to put that type of content on my channel. And that's probably one of the reasons why this individual did not want to pay for the content, because they were possibly in their feelings, and because they were in their feelings, all they wanted to do was hear me going into a frenzy, talking about all sorts of conspiracy theories. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about a bunch of conspiracy theories. I'm going to go out here and present facts and information from an objective perspective, because I believe that viewers need to hear all sides of the argument, not hear somebody rambling and running on feelings. Now, I've checked the background of that individual who went out here and made the ad hominem attack, and it's clear to me that this person, even though they had their own channel, they really did not want to go out here and make this kind of content, because they don't know how to make content, because the only thing on their channel was a bunch of 1-minute videos talking about rambling stuff, and that's not the kind of content I produce here on this channel. And yes, I've got lots of viewers, but they want to be well informed and they want to see all the sides as related to a subject, not hear grand conspiracy theories and hear grand conspiracy theories presenting rambling text and rambling talking points. No, I'm going to present facts to people on this subject, and from what I have seen, based on research, it's a lot of speculation, and there's no core hard information to confirm or substantiate that there is going to be any sort of food crisis. No, there's no information there that's going to present this as related to things, and I'm not going to go and start talking about a subject without presenting all of the sides again and all of the facts as related to the subject. Now, I want to thank the viewer who did go out here and pay for that subject, because that viewer showed that this subject meant more to them than the original person who requested it, because the person who paid for the subject showed that they really wanted to see this information, and I want to thank them for going out here and spending that money on this subject, because you show that you really respect this channel by respecting the rules and policies of this channel. I don't have time to sit here and give Dusty's videos for free. No, my time is precious, and if you want a video about a subject, you have to spend money on that subject, and you have to present subjects that are something that I can go out here and present facts on. I'm not going to go out here and run out here like some of these other YouTubers and run on an emotional conspiracy theory. No, I'm going to go out here, do the research, and follow it up, because I believe my viewers need to be well informed about whatever subjects that are requested for videos. Now, if you want to request a video on a subject, you can drop a donation to the Cash App, you can drop a donation to the PayPal, and if I know something about that subject, I will make that video for you. And if you want to go out here and pick up some of the books on the SJS Direct Imprint, you can also do that as a way to get a video request. And if you pick up books in the ISIS series, the E-Steam series, the John Haynes series, and the books of the Spencer Route trilogy, preferably picking up 2 to 3 books, I will go out here and make a video for you. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can also donate to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers everywhere, E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman. Hell's aspiring angel takes on a wicked werewoman in this action-packed, all-new E-Steam series adventure. Pre-order your copy of E-Steam Horror of the Hyena Woman on Amazon.com today.